Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into a powerful creative collaboration featuring the incredibly talented Risa Raenne Moodley. In this special live chat, we explore her work with Sandesh Sewdien, from how the collaboration began to the creative chemistry that brought it to life. Expect insights, behind the scenes moments, and a deeper look into the artistry behind their partnership. If you love music, collaboration, and real stories from artists, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. How are you, Risa?
I'm well, thanks. And yourself?
I'm awesome. It's been a while since we last chatted. So, what's been happening since then while I get my questions to actually upload?
I think a couple of new projects have been in the works, both Western and Eastern. Yes, I do have a new collab coming out with Sandesh Sewdien, and I have one coming out with Randy Reckless as well. So
Wow.
that should be coming out in the next few weeks, if not few days. Um, and then on the Western side, I have a couple of singles coming out soon. So I'm just busy with a whole lot of projects amongst everything else going on in my life. So yeah, it's been busy.
Awesome. All right. Now that everything is uploaded, let's get into it. Okay, Risa, you've collaborated with Sandesh Sewdien. How did that connection first come about, and what drew you to work together?
Fairly simple, actually. He had been following me for a while on social media
Oh,
and he knew he was coming down for a show. So he had contacted me a couple months in advance and said, I'd like to collab with you and if you're keen. So from there, it just sparked on. I responded to him and we had talked about the collab and about the producing and the video and everything to do with it. And it just continued from there.
awesome. What was the creative process like between you and Sandesh? How did your styles complement each other?
So I come from a very classical background, and Sandesh is very freestyle and more chutney, soca, that kind of background. So I think it was, we had to find a song that I felt was comfortable for me and something that I knew he would also enjoy. So it was a lot of back and forth about choosing the right song. And I had to make sure I found the right producer who would be able to complement both our styles and knows what he's looking for and also knows me well. So it was difficult at first to understand what each other wanted, but then once we got rolling, it completely worked.
Um, do you mind indulging my curiosity? Because you spoke about freestyle. Like, would you say your style is like more westernized? That kind of thing, you mean?
Actually, no, I wouldn't say more westernized per se. I would say it's just not I'm used to a classical and very
Hmm.
straightforward Bollywood. And for him it's very like you can just chop and change and add
Okay.
your own feel into it. So I was not really used to that at first, but now after having
Okay.
that experience, I'm good with that.
Okay. Awesome. Every collaboration has its unique energy. What made this one special or different from your previous projects?
I think just his background was that he is originally from Suriname, but he lives in Holland,
Okay.
and I could see some of the music that his country listens to that inspired some of the the musical background that we used when creating this collaboration. So I think that was something that was nice to see, nice to work with, and yeah, from that point onwards, it just continued, and we made a great project.
Were there any standout moments or challenges during your collaboration that helped you grow as an artist?
Time was a very big problem actually, because we had to rush a lot of things, and I think that was actually effective for both of us because we both realized we work very well under pressure. And I think the collab wouldn't have been the way it is if it wasn't for the fact that we were on a time crunch and we had to get things rolling. There was no delays. So I think that yes, that was a bit of a difficulty, but it ultimately turned out to be something that ended up being a blessing in disguise for us. Though we did have long hours and late nights, back to back studio sessions and video sessions. So yeah, time really was the issue there.
Awesome. All right, I've got a comment question for you here. This is from Jitin Rishika. Hi, Risa. We are proud of you. We'd love to see the collaboration. What was your reaction when you were doing the collaboration?
Um, I think I was excited and also a bit nervous. I remember being unsure of what was to come, but also excited to see what that would be like. And I told my family, so I was really excited about that. And I knew that we were bringing two types of cultures together and two types of musical backgrounds together. So I was curious in a good way to see where that would end up and where we would grow together, how we would grow together. So I think this collaboration really taught me that, showed me that, and my reaction to it was just excitable the entire time.
Beautiful. Were there any standout moments or, oh no, I think oh, uh, oh, sorry about that. What did you learn from working with Sandesh Sewdien, both musically and personally?
I think I learned that
Hmm.
I don't always have to be very like by the book. I can just freestyle, and sometimes when actually when we freestyle this, it was such a new dynamic for me. So I think I've now understood that it's one of my favorite dynamics, and I think that I'm grateful to Sandesh for because I had a chance to grow as an artist and see what the other side is like and to not be so straightforward about things. And I think that it was something that I needed to experience as an artist. So yeah, that was all thanks to him.
Yeah, my apologies. I think my question was supposed to be, were there any standout moments or challenges during your collaboration that helped you grow as an artist?
I think a standout moment
Hmm.
was, like I mentioned, the fact that we did this all in such a time crunch, and I think that
Okay.
definitely made us grow. And in terms of the challenges, we did
Mhm.
have some communicative challenges. I think language wise, sometimes.
Okay.
But it wasn't so bad. He could speak English, and I
Hmm.
could somewhat understand Dutch to an extent based on my Afrikaans background.
Oh,
But it was I think it was something that we both enjoyed about each other, and it showed us that the music kind of brought us together whether we had those barriers or not. So I think that really was something that we grew, both of us, I think, grew on that.
unless if there aren't any more comment questions here, my last question to you would be, can fans expect more collaborations between you and Sandesh in the future, or even a bigger joint project?
I think, yeah, I think in time we'd probably do something. Depends on how well this collab does, but I'm expecting this collab to do well because I know it definitely caters to South African culture, and it will definitely do well in his country as well because of the type of song that I chose for it. I just think that I think we'd need to plan it a bit better this time and spend more time here. He was here for a really short time. So I think that was just difficult in terms of the weeks. But I think that we can definitely do something again soon, and I would hope so.
All right, actually, there is actually one question here for you again from Jitin Rishika. What was the feeling performing overseas? I think she must be referring to America, maybe.
Yes. Um, So, this wasn't actually the first time that I performed overseas. So, I guess that nerve wasn't there. But what was a bit nerve wracking was the thought of performing for this huge, big festival with an Indian culture that I wasn't very familiar with. You know, South African culture is different from Caribbean Indian culture. And I was worried about how they would take on the type of music that I perform. But once I got there and I saw the stage and I saw the dancers and the performers, it felt just like home. And the crowd felt just like home. And I think once I got there, all of that just went away. I just did my thing, and it was really a really nice, it was a really good opportunity. I feel like I was completely in a state of like ecstasy. I just couldn't fathom that I was in that position, but it was wonderful.
All right. If given the opportunity, which artist would you like to collaborate with?
I actually have not thought about it if I'm being really
Oh,
honest because I still have that collab with Sandesh and Randy Reckless
okay.
coming out. So I think once I'm done with them, then I'll be able to consider any other avenues if other opportunities do arise in time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So let me get done with these first.
Yeah, sure, no problem. It was, I guess you were just asking out of curiosity. All right,
Mhm.
all I got to say, Risa, is thanks once again for your time and, as usual, best of luck for your ventures.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you so much for having me on the show.
You're most welcome.
Okay.